Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on Control TV on Front Look Politics. I am Gimba Umar, and we're being joined by one that everybody knows now in Nigeria. He's been very vocal about the things that are happening in Nigeria, especially from the Buhari administration to the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's none other than Professor Yusuf Usman, the former executive secretary of the health insurance scheme in Nigeria. But Prof, we want to thank you so much indeed for coming at this time, and we love it that you're able to honor Control TV anytime that we call. These are indeed troubling times. But I must ask you this first. What's your first assessment now that this administration is hitting 1 year in office?
Right, and I say the minds of every Nigerian, and I recently wrote a piece that has been published by the Guardian, Sahara Reporters, and many papers. The title of my piece was Tinubu's Reign of Deception, Destitution, and Hopelessness. To be honest, their hope agenda turned to hopelessness to all Nigerians. I mean, people are suffering. Maybe they don't know. The leaders don't know because they are disconnected. Because the honest reality is that people are suffering. We have never had. I am in my 60s. I've never seen this kind of suffering in this country. People are, millions of people, especially women and children, go to bed hungry and they wake up in the morning with no certainty of anything to eat. Workers' salary cannot pay for their food, cannot pay for rent, school fees for their children, and other necessities of life. What is life if your salary cannot pay for all of this? A bag of rice is over 60, 70,000. Minimum wage is 30,000. It's not a living wage. People are suffering. There is hunger in the land, and the mood of the nation is very foul. People are not happy all across this country. We say that we continue to say it and raise our voices for our leaders to know all is not well. Maybe their advisors and their ministers will not tell them what we are telling them. It's our civic responsibility to speak up so that they know all is not well. The nation is in a very foul mood. People are suffering in the land of plenty because we see what they are doing. They are building things. They are buying SUV of billions of naira. They are giving contract. The president is giving contract to his bosom friend of 15.6 trillion naira, which is 56% of the national budget. So financial recklessness in the land of plenty, when people, majority of people are turned into beggars, lining up to get palliatives, as one sees in war-torn Sudan and Afghanistan and Gaza Strip. It is sad, it is unacceptable, and we will continue to raise our voices because it is our right as citizens, and for our leaders to hear loud and clearly, all is not well, people are not happy.
Prof, when you sound like this, people who have been watching you in the political space, in the social media space, will always say this. He's been so unjustly critical about this administration because this administration is working and have got policies in place to address all these concerns that you have raised. How would you respond to that, that segment of society who feel as such?
Right. I mean, and I've been critical, one of the biggest critics of President Muhammadu Buhari, who comes from Katsina State. He has had to bear my criticism of him throughout this time. Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to be honest, has been localized to Lagos. His politics has always been local Lagos, where he's never been questioned. Now he's on the big stage, 200 million Nigerians, and we will question him, and we're continuing to question him. This is the honest reality. He does not have his own policy. The policy he has is World Bank type policy. Got a prescription from the World Bank, remove fuel subsidy. He did that on the day he was inaugurated without consultation, without knowing the state of the nation's economy. without consulting elders and people, especially the national security team, and without having plans to mitigate the problems that are going to result from this removal of subsidy. The other instruction they gave him is devalue your currency. And this is where we are. In a country that is import dependent, you devalue the currency, you're not producing anything. And the third prescription they gave him, increase the electricity tariff. Well, there's no business that can survive very high cost energy cost. No, high interest rate, high energy cost, businesses are shutting down. People are being laid
But
off.
these are assertions, Prof, that you are making. There isn't any hard evidence or a
Uh,
write-up that
uh,
that suggests that Mr. President is doing the bidding, as you say.
Gimba, the first there was this commission he created. I forgot the commission. It was inaugurated in no less a place than the villa. And Nigeria's country representative, World Bank representative, was there. And he spoke there. He was effusive, praising President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's decisions and policies. We all know World Bank has been urging previous presidents to do the same things: devalue your currency, remove the fuel subsidy, take away subsidy on electricity. There is nothing original. This is World Bank. We know that he knows that. He has gone haywire.
But there are. I mean, my apologies to Botting, but there are economies in the world, especially in the Western world, who have a very strong, vibrant tax system that gets everybody in the net. They have lived through this part, and they are doing exceedingly well, even with the taxes. So, what argument are you putting forward that taxes here, it worked in Lagos and is not very likely to work at the national stage? Do you not feel that you should reframe your statement? but also, if you watched national television earlier today, you would see the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake. That is one ministry that is already having the blueprint of what this administration intends to do, shoring up jobs, for instance, making the economy better. He's not the only one. There's Dave Umahi also, who is ensuring that the infrastructural development, especially the roads, the bridges that we need to have, the connectivity network that will bring about interstate dependency and growth of the economy, all these are still at gestation periods. They were not there before. Would you not give them the benefit of a doubt that this administration actually means well and knows what they are doing, Prof? Well, well, if we were to step on the pedal some more, looking at the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration in the past 1 year, there are other sectors, for instance, um, security. Security is one big issue. Now, that security itself in Abuja, the nation's capital, where the minister Yesom Wike presides over, this was a place that was almost being run down on a daily basis. We hear people being kidnapped in front of their houses. But that's a thing of the past now. The confidence is now being reposed, Prof. Doesn't that give you some confidence? People feel safer today. There is a critical area, especially that has to do with the economy. Uh, I know you touched on it a little bit, but there are policies by the Central Bank of Nigeria, one of which is the peg on some kind of you know money generation that will help the government. There are several of them, as a matter of fact. The CBN undercard also is very, very keen, very, very interested in ensuring that the monetary policies of our country is gotten the right way. Are you saying that the IMF and the World Bank have advised against the interest of Nigeria just so that we are able to control our banks better?
remove electricity tariff, or if you
We don't have that information. Do you have a step by step, because you've already gone into the solutions? Is there a step by step means that you think that this administration can, use to resolve all this crisis that you're talking about facing the country?
and 1 year you are in trouble, we are all in trouble. That is 35 million Nigerians that have hypertension have stopped taking their medications because of the astronomical cost of drugs. So what we are seeing in hospital are complications of hypertension, of stroke, of renal failure, of heart failure, because they cannot afford medication. And none of them visit hospitals. They don't visit markets. Know the realities of our people.
So if they go to the
In
hospital now, they will know those realities. Will that be the solution? Will that be the solution? How do we get people to stop suffering? What would you advise if you were to advise the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu? How does he get food to the table of everyone in Nigeria? So what do you recommend in that case? What will be your last and final words now that we're running out of time on the 1 year in office? Professor Yusuf Usman, it's always a delight having you to talk to us and honoring our invitation anytime we call on you here on Control TV, especially our political program, Front Row Politics. We do sincerely thank you. And for everyone who has been a part of this show, join us again another time when we come your way. I am Gimba Omar, and we're signing out. Bye for now.